What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am Ro if you are new here, and if you are returning, thank you so much for coming on back. So it's a whole new year. This is my first upload of 2021, so happy new year and happy 2021. As you can tell from the title, this video is going to be how I do my intentional vision board. I've done a lot of vision boards in the past, and they were pretty like spare of the moment, not much thought behind them at all. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how I do my intentional vision board. So with that being said, I always got to have some notes, right? I won't assume that everyone knows what a vision board is, so because of that, let's start with just some basics. What is a vision board? I see a vision board as a visual or pictorial representation of all of the goals, wishes, dreams, desires, whatever the case may be, prayers that I have for a certain year or a certain event. The next question is, why is a vision board important? It's that first way of putting your idea into a physical form, and the more you put things into the world and make them tangible or make them physical, the more likely they are to come into fruition. With an intentional vision board, you are putting your idea into some sort of a physical form 3 times over. Those 3 things mean you're going to be saying it. And saying it is a step above thinking it, so I would say saying it, and then writing it, and then also turning the idea into an actual picture, a visual thing on the board. So what is an intentional vision board? The most typical way to do a vision board is to get a pile of magazines or newspaper and just kind of like whatever stands out, that's what you cut out and that's what you put on your vision board. And if you really think about it, that's probably not the best way to do it. I think the thing would be to already come in with an idea of what you want to put on your board, coming in prepared and actually sitting down and thinking through the things that you want to do, and putting it on your board in a very detailed, specific way, which I'm about to get into. So the next question is, how can you make an intentional vision board? First thing that you have to do, you have to make an intentional list. You have to sit down and write out everything that you want to accomplish within this year. Within that list, you have to be very specific and very detailed. I'm going to give an example. Say for instance, you write, I want a car this year. That's not the best way to write it down. Instead of just writing I want a car, you can say I want a 2019 Honda Accord coupe by September. Like, you're putting a description on the type of car, you put in the kind, and you're also putting a timeline on it. And all of those factors will play a part when you actively go out and look for a car and when you're actively planning your monthly plan. So being very, very detailed and specific with your list will aid in you making a very intentional vision board. For those of you who may not be sure of the things that you want to accomplish, or you're not sure of the things that you want to put on your vision board or put on your list, here are just a few questions or a few topics that you can ask yourself as you go through the process and as you sit down and make your list. And I would encourage you to make the list in an area where you feel inspired. So maybe getting out of your house, going into a restaurant, going to a park and sitting down and doing your list, versus just sitting in your room or just somewhere that isn't the most inspiring. I would say to do that. That's just a quick tip. A few questions that you can ask yourself is, what do you want to learn this year? Do you want to learn a skill, a trade? Do you want to learn how to do your hair? Do you want to learn how to do makeup? And the next thing would be some physical things. What are some physical things that you would like to do in this year? Do you want to take better care of your body? Do you want to change your dietary lifestyle? Do you want to work out more? Do you want to cut your hair? What are some of your monetary goals? Do you want to start saving? Do you want to start investing? Do you want to start giving more to charity? Just some monetary goals. Character goals. Do you want to become more self-sufficient? Do you want to grow your self-esteem? Do you want to become a little bit more caring? Do you want to become a little bit more stern or firm in your character? Do you want to cut out doing certain things? Do you want to go months without drinking alcohol? Spiritual goals. Do you want to get closer to God? Do you want to just venture more into your spirituality? Those are just some basic questions. I'm pretty sure if you utilize Google, they can give you some really reflective questions of yourself so that you can figure out exactly what you want to accomplish within 2021. The next thing to think about as you're making your list is to make sure that you are being realistic with your goals and your wishes and your desires and your prayers. And also make sure that you believe them. You have to believe the things that you are writing. Because yes, you can make this list, but if you have no plan of being active with your vision board, then it's kind of like, at the end of the year when you're looking over your vision board and you're reflecting and a lot of the stuff on your list didn't come true. Well, why didn't they come true? Did you ever really truly save for that car? Did you ever go to car lots and look at cars? Did you ever explore Carfax or something? I don't know. Just make sure that you believe in your goals and that you're being realistic and you actually have plans to actively work towards achieving them. I actually did a video a while ago on how to better achieve your goals, so if you guys want to check that video out, just some different ways that I approach my goals, and hopefully can be of some help to you if you are struggling in the area. But I will leave it up in the cards as well as in the description box, and I will probably have it on the screen at the end so you can just click it from there. So my next thing is that not all things have to be extravagant on your list. Now you don't have to say, oh, I want a mansion, I want a luxury car, I want $1 million. Like, it don't have to always be the most extravagant things. Like I say, stay realistic. It can be some small goals. It doesn't always have to be the biggest of the biggest. You want it to be as realistic and as aligned with you as possible. So before I get into moving behind me and showing you guys exactly how I do my vision board, here's a few tips. Make your vision board as aesthetically pleasing as possible. A lot of times, if it's not aesthetically pleasing, it'll just end up in the trunk or somewhere lost in my closet. And just like, you want something that you wouldn't mind looking at, that makes you feel inspired. So definitely make sure that your board is aesthetically pleasing to you. But once you're finished, make sure that you keep your vision board accessible to you, but not accessible to everyone. You may not want to have your vision board on display in like your dining room, kitchen, living room, but you do want it somewhere where you will be able to have access to it. So maybe on the back of your closet door, or on your closet door, somewhere in your room, somewhere where there isn't a lot of traffic of different people, because it's ultimately for you and it is a sacred thing, which I will get into that point a little bit later. Another tip is to revisit your vision board monthly or quarterly, just as a reminder and also as an aid as you do your monthly checklist or monthly goal list. And it's honestly a way to just stay on course, because at some point in the year you may not be so motivated. You may just get lost in a year, and to see your vision board and to reread your list sometimes can be refreshing, and some goals you can honestly forget about. So like I said earlier, your vision board is sacred, so do your best to treat your list and your board as such. Don't go sharing all of your goals and your ideals and all of this good stuff, because you really don't want any bad energy around the things that you are hoping and wishing to come into fruition. My next tip is to take time creating your board and creating your list. There's no wrong time to do a vision board, so take your time and make sure that you are being as thoughtful with your board as possible. Treat your board like you would treat your diary, as if only you are going to be reading it. So make it as personal and as realistic to you as possible. And the last tip on my list is, as you are doing and completing your vision board, visualize and envision yourself actually achieving these things, and not only achieving it, what your life would look like after you have achieved this thing. That's actually my last tip, and we're gonna actually move over to the computer, and there will be a voiceover as I do the vision board, so I can just walk through and talk through with you guys. Oh, and by the way, as I said about keeping your vision board sacred, this will not be my 2021 vision board. I've actually already done my vision board for 2021, but I will be redoing my 2020 vision board so that you guys can see exactly what I mean about creating a intentional vision board. So let's go over here to the computer and let's get the board done. Alright you guys, so I'm going to be editing and formatting and arranging my pictures on canva.com. This is where I'm the most savvy, and this is also where I do my thumbnails, so this is easier for me to maneuver. But you can also use any software that allows you to remove the background of photos. So that's what I'm going to be doing essentially, and just arranging the photos to make them as lively and as fun as possible. As you can see, I'm placing my own self on some stairs, and that's going to be signifying a promotion / raise that I wanted to receive in the year of 2020, and I actually did get a raise, so it did come to pass. Woo woo. And now, as you guys can see, Beyonce just magically popped up, right? So in the year 2020, I definitely wanted to attend some concerts, and Beyonce, Ari Lennox, and Drake were my top 3. However, Drake did not make the cut because his picture would not load. But honestly, nobody made the cut because the virus said, ain't no concerts. Basically, I just take the things on my list and just make them as visually pleasing to my liking as possible. And I also try to keep like a theme in mind, just try to go simple, black outline, kind of like a pop art vibe in a way. Now I'm just basically going to print this out, and I'm going to be printing it on cardstock versus printing paper. Like I said, I do want the images to kind of like pop off the page, so I would rather do that. And I'm going to be using a cream color instead of a white because I wanted to go with those neutral tones for this board. And I'm going to be using this frame that I got from Walmart. I've had this frame for at least 3 to 4 months, so I thought I would just put it to use. And I'm basically just going to be flipping that little like default sheet right there, flipping it over, and I'm going to be using that as like my little poster to glue those images on. Now you can definitely get an actual poster board, or you can do even a canvas if you want to, but I thought that this would be easier and cheaper since I already had it in my possession. And yeah, so I'm just basically going to outline each image the same way to get like that little bit of a pop art feel, and like the images are bursting out of the page. And I'm going to do that for every single image. And in a minute here, you guys will see me arranging those images to my liking on the board, and then I'm just going to glue them down. In a second here, you guys will actually see me take my list and put it inside of the frame behind the poster. I thought that that would be a cool idea, just so I can keep up with the list, and at the end of the year when I'm ready to switch out the frame or anything like that, I can just look back at that list. And I'm also going to be signing off on the list with a little quote or saying or a little affirmation that these things are possible and that they will come true. And I will sign it, and then I will put the glass over it, and that will be all for this vision board. Alright y'all, that concludes this video. So this is a reflection of how I wanted my 2020 to go for my 2020 list. I really like how this one turned out, and it's like very reminiscent of my 2021 one as far as like the technique I used and the color scheme and everything. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know down below if you plan on doing an intentional vision board, and let me know how that goes. I would love to see you guys in the process of doing your vision board. Not necessarily the finished product, like I said, it is sacred, but if you are in the process, shoot me a quick boomerang or post it on your story and tag me. That would be great. My Instagram is at according to Ro. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. I really love doing anything creative, so this just got my juices flowing. If you made it to this point of the video, leave an airplane emoji down below to let me know that you made it all the way to the end. And as always, I will see you guys in my next video. Oh.